guys, welcome back to Unfiltered, your newest sports podcast with unfiltered, unbiased takes. Thank you guys for spending some of your time with me again here today. I'm Rob Bryce, and here we go. Got a fun show for y'all today. Gonna talk about a few things here. Always trying to keep it with three things. I think that's a good kind of way to go about this. Favorite number is 3. It's kind of why I was a Dwayne Wade advocate. Just everything about it was awesome. Number 3, this podcast headphone I'm actually using is number 3, so we're gonna stay with the number 3. We're gonna talk about the New York Football Jets, baby. Actually, I know I got a couple New York fans that follow me. You guys will love this. We'll go into the Baltimore Ravens, what I think about their offense going into this season, and then all this stuff going on with the running backs. Definitely gonna get into that a little bit today. That is going to be actually my entire podcast next week will be about the NFL running backs not being paid what they want and what I think about that. Today, Micah Parsons said something of what he believes is a good idea. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. Going into the show here, though, I'm going to start doing this where Rob was wrong, because I'm wrong quite a bit according to Raven. My girlfriend, that is. I am wrong quite a bit. But there was a couple of things I was wrong on last week. I'm glad everyone listened to it and had some feedback. That was awesome. I really appreciate everyone who listened to it on Spotify, on YouTube. If you didn't, I'm on Spotify, I'm on YouTube. Check me out. Ask me for the link. I'll send it to you. But Maj, appreciate you, man. You texted me like right away, and within like the first 30 seconds, you said welcome back, and it was your first episode. Welcome back to what? And I said, yeah. That's a good point, man. Yeah, welcome back to what? Now it makes sense, the second episode, when I said welcome back. But yep, you were right. I said welcome back on my very first episode. And then I said Durant instead of Kevin Garnett. I'm sorry, KG. And I actually really like KG a lot. He was the one and only guy I liked on the Celtics. And I kind of didn't even like him on the Celtics just because he was on the Celtics. But my bad, I did say Durant instead of Garnett when I was talking about the team that he who must not be named had around him. He who must not be named also said something else crazy the other day. We're not talking about him today. No more radio time for you. No more podcast time for you. You don't deserve anything. I think honestly you need to go see a shrink or a psychiatrist or something, bro. You gotta go get some help. Going into the New York Football Jets, man. New York fans, man. This has got to be the most excited you guys have been ever. It's got to be ever, right? It has to be. I mean, definitely years. But how excited were you really with Mark Sanchez? Yeah, you guys made the AFC Championship games twice with him, but how excited could you have really been with Mark Sanchez as the quarterback? This is awesome, man. I'm excited to see the Jets, and I dislike Aaron Rodgers very much so. Preseason practice for the Jets sold out in 3 minutes. I'm going to say it again. 3 minutes. And that's true. It's not just because I love the number 3. 3 minutes. That is insane. That's unreal. That's just so crazy. I love that. They are so hyped in New York to watch this team. Aaron Rodgers came trotting in on the field, and I mean, it was like God himself was walking out there, man. Standing ovation, cheering, screaming, just going bonkers. Absolutely bonkers for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron freaking Rodgers, man, he's that guy. He's still that guy. I think that he's going to show a lot of people this year that he's still that guy. I don't care that he had a quote-unquote down year last year. Like, Aaron Rodgers' down year is most people's, like, best year. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts what this guy does on a day-to-day basis. He's already making plays in practice with Garrett Wilson. I think they're going to be special. That's going to be his new Devontae Adams. Is Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to have a hell of a season. And I'm excited to watch it. I really am. And I do not like Aaron Rodgers. He's ruined my Dallas Cowboys years quite often. But Rodgers last year, man, he was 65% basically completed percentage on his passes. He completed, 6 out of 10 throws, 6.5 out of 10 throws every time. Threw for almost 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 picks. Like, that's a hell of a year for anybody other than Aaron freaking Rodgers. I mean, that's just incredible, man. He had a down year. Before that, he was back-to-back MVP. You want to know my honest thoughts? I think Aaron Rodgers wins MVP this year, Jets fans. I think he's going to be the MVP of the league. I think he's got a lot to prove, even though he really doesn't, but he thinks he does. And he kind of does, I guess. I mean, some people are questioning how good he's going to be there. I think he's going to be great. I think the Jets are going to have a top 5 offense this year. Yeah, like top 5 for sure. Maybe top 3. Maybe we stick with that number 3. But I'm going top 5. You got Aaron freaking Rodgers, right? One of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback I've ever watched. I started watching football in 2006, Romo's first year. Tony Romo came into the league in 2006, and that was the first year I started watching football, and I really got into it. So Brett Favre was still around. He was the most fun quarterback I've ever watched, was Brett Favre. He just loved the game, man. It's just, how could you not love watching him? But I've seen Peyton Manning, I've seen Tom Brady, I've seen Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Patrick Mahomes is maybe going to take this title from Aaron here soon, but Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. I mean, the dude could put the ball in the money from 50 yards away. You could throw a freaking penny in the air 50 yards down the field, and that that MFer is going to hit it. He's different, man. He's so good. He is so good. I can't believe he only has 1 ring, but we don't need to get into that, Packers fans. Sorry for the bad memories there. But you got Aaron freaking Rodgers. You got Garrett Wilson. This kid is sick, man. He is Devontae Adams, but faster and more athletic. He is going to be really, really good. I mean, last year he had 83 catches, 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns as a rookie with whoever was the Jets quarterback. And I'm sorry, Jets, I didn't look it up. I think it was a few different guys anyways. We don't need to waste anybody's time even naming the names of those quarterbacks. But basically, he had someone like me out there throwing him the football, and the dude went off for 83, 1,100, and 4 touchdowns his rookie year. And now you got Aaron Rodgers. That kid's going to have a special, special season. He is really, really good. And then you got Breece Hall, who I think is great. Absolutely great football player. He unfortunately got hurt. I don't know if he's going to start this season. I don't know where he's at with his recovery. Everyone is saying optimistic for week 1. At least that's what Bleacher Report is saying when I say everyone. But whenever he does come back, and I think they should bring him back slow. There's no need to rush him back and hurt the kid. He's only 22 years old. Just let him heal up, let him work his way back in. But once he's back, that kid is good, man. That kid is really good. I think people kind of low-key do not know about Breece Hall. He's going to be great with Rodgers. He's going to have more space to do stuff. No one can just stack the box against him now. I mean, you could, but then Aaron's just going to shred you, so pick your poison. Jets are going to be tough to guard, man. Top 5 offense for sure. And then you got Corey Davis, Lazard, and Cobb after that, right? So Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. You got Garrett Wilson as your number 1. You got Breece Hall as your number 1 running back. Now we're moving down the list to who's going to be that next guy that steps up between Corey Davis, Lazard, and Cobb. And I like all 3 of them. Corey Davis had like 1 good year, but this dude, I mean, he's kind of just like a freak. He's an athletic freak. He could be good, maybe. I mean, we'll see. You've got Randall Cobb, who was just Aaron Rodgers' glue guy, man. He was, great for years with the Packers. He's old though, he's up there in age for sure, but does he have 1 good year left? Does he have half a year left? Can he start out the year, first 8 games and be the guy, and then if he fades, but then Lazard or Corey Davis steps up? Sure. Give one of these young guys a chance to step up that I don't know about yet? Why not? I mean, that's what veterans do, man. They're a glue guy. You're a bridge. You're there to help out the guys behind you. You're there to be a mentor to some of these young guys, and I think Cobb is going to be a great mentor. And I think Lazard is pretty good. I think between the 3 of them, one of them steps up to be that number 2 receiver, and who it is, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I'm going to go Cobb. If you guys want my opinion, I think it's going to be Cobb will be the guy who is targeted the most behind Wilson and Hall. Just because that's like Aaron Rodgers' guy right over the middle. Cobb just always seems to get open. And then going into their tight ends, this is where it starts to fade off a little bit, and this is why I say top 5 and not top 3, or even, number 1, number 2, whatever. The second guy behind Wilson as far as a receiver, and then the tight ends. I think there's a lot of question marks there, but there's no reason that one of these guys or both of them don't step up, and then all of a sudden they are the top 3 offense in the league. You got Jeremy Ruckett from the Ohio State. Does he make a jump and become a guy? Usually it's really tough for tight ends coming from college into the NFL. Usually it takes them about 3 years to be really good. If you look at the history of tight ends, usually the first year is man, second year is like, okay, he's got something, and the third year is like, holy crap, yeah, this kid is good. Jeremy Ruckett, let's see what his stats were real quick his first year. As I'm pulling that up, the other tight end they got on the Jets is Tyler Conklin, and I think he's pretty solid. He's not great. I don't even think he's really good, but he's a solid guy. He's not terrible. Jeremy Ruckett only played 9 games last year, 1 reception, 2 targets for 8 yards. That's about as bad as it gets. Jeez, I didn't know it was that bad. Sorry, Jets fans. But Jeremy Ruckert from the Ohio State was a pretty good football player at the Ohio State. This kid was drafted in the 3rd round, early on, 101 overall, basically almost a top 100 player. And for those that really watch football and really get into it, the top 100 is something that's talked about a lot as far as the draft is concerned, and GMs and player personnel guys trying to get as many of their top 100 players that they can. It's not all about the first round. The first round is hype for sure. Like, no one does the draft like the NFL. But these top 100 players, it's a real thing. It's a real thing that these guys, these GMs, these player personnel guys try to get onto the team. And Ruckert was 101, whatever. He's a top 100 guy in my eyes. So let's see how he does this year. Let's see how Tyler Conklin does. Let's see who steps up in camp. The camp just started a few days ago. We're 46 days away, by the way, from the NFL season, man. I cannot wait. God, I can't wait. I know Raven can wait. Every Sunday, that's what we're doing. No more beach, no more pool, no more nothing. Sunday is football all day, every day. Monday night, football night. Thursday night, football night. I cannot wait. Oh, I'm so hyped. I cannot wait for football season. I'm a freak with football season, man. So, Jets offense, I think they're going to be top 5, man. Between Aaron freaking Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, between Davis, Lazard, and Cobb, and then one of these tight ends. One of these tight ends can step up and be, solid guy. And if one of those 3 receivers can step up and be a solid guy, and then I'm sure there's some guys on the Jets that I don't know about. I'm not a Jets fan, so I don't look into it that much, other than what I did before the show to get prepared. But maybe there's another guy I don't know that steps up. Jets fans, go ahead and shoot me a text, shoot me a DM, follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube. Tell me who you think is going to step up for the Jets this year, guys, other than someone I didn't name, or even someone I did name between Davis, Lazard, Cobb, Ruckert, Conklin. Tell me who you think is going to step up, man. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. For the couple people that did comment on my Spotify episode I posted, thank you, man. I love your feedback. The feedback's the only way I'm going to get better, guys. So everyone who reached out to me and gave me honest feedback, thank you. Honestly, thank you. I appreciate it. It's the only way I'm going to get better. It's my 2nd episode, guys. I don't know what the heck I'm doing yet. To say what I know I'm doing is an absolute lie. And then I think the Jets are on Hard Knocks too, man, this year. That's right. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I cannot wait. You got Aaron Rodgers on Hard Knocks. That guy. Tell you what. Maybe I become a fan of Aaron Rodgers. It makes me sick to actually even say that out loud. We'll see. And then, it would be a disservice and disgraceful if I didn't mention the Jets defense. Before moving on to my next topic, man, Jets fans, you guys got a great team. You guys are going to be really good. You got Sauce. He's special. He's special, man. You guys have another great corner. I don't really know your safeties. The D-line is just nasty. Linebackers, I don't know very well either, but the Jets were a very, very good defense last year. The Jets were a quarterback away last year. If anybody watched them, and you watch them play their games, I mean, you could just see like they're a quarterback away from being really, really good. And they got Aaron freaking Rodgers. Jets fans, you guys are going to be fun to watch this year, man. Any bookies out there? I'm still waiting to hear from you. I would love to parlay Aaron Rodgers MVP and the Jets winning the division. I want to know what the odds are. I want to know what I would win if I put some money on it. So someone reach out, tell me, bookies, someone, let me know. Rodgers MVP, Jets winning the division. That's it. I'm not going crazy and saying y'all winning the freaking Super Bowl this year. Let's pump the brakes, guys. You guys have had like 3 practices together. Let's calm down. Calm down. Take a deep breath. I think it's a little crazy to think Super Bowl first year. Although Brady did it, Matt Stafford did it. It's possible. I'm not going to bet on it. But I would love to bet Rodgers MVP, Jets winning the division, if it makes sense. I hope the line is high and I can steal some money from Vegas. Be pretty sweet. So going into the next topic here, the Baltimore Ravens offense. This one's going to be fun for me to talk about too. Donnie, here you go, man. I hope you're still listening, bro. I know you can barely pay attention to anything past a couple minutes. Cousin Donnie is a Baltimore Ravens fan, so he says at least. But they are very, very interesting for me to look at, and it can really go either way. I think they're one of the few teams where it really is a giant unknown. Even with Lamar Jackson, yes. He was the 2019 MVP, but since then, he really hasn't been very good at all. Like, he's actually been pretty bad. He also hasn't won a playoff game. So, a lot of people hate on my team when we don't win a playoff game, so let's not let him off the hook on that. Lamar Jackson hasn't won a playoff game. After his MVP season, he's been pretty bad. Less than 65% of his passes, hasn't broken 3,000 passing yards. Touchdown to interception ratio, other than 2020 when he went 26-9. 2021, he threw only 16 touchdowns in 12 games. He also hasn't finished a full season since his rookie year. He hasn't played a full 17 games now since his rookie year. 2021, 16 touchdowns, 13 picks. 2022, 17 touchdowns, 7 picks, both in 12 games. It's not good. That's really not good at all, actually. Rushing yards, 2020, he's a runner, right? So I know you guys are saying, well, he's a runner. 2020, he rushed for 1,000 and 7 touchdowns. That was great. But after that, 767 and 2 touchdowns, 764 and 3 touchdowns. Yes, that was only in 12 games. I can't do that math in my head, whatever 767 divided by 12 is. I just don't think he's been as dynamic that he was in 2019. And he's quickly getting worse, in my opinion. He doesn't seem to be getting better. His passing percentage has gone down every year since 2019. 2019, he was 66% completed passes. Then he went to 64.4. Miraculously, he was 64.4 again. We'll say 64.3 so that I don't have to do Rob is wrong on this again next week. And then last year, 62.3. If he drops below 60 this year, completed percentage, it's just really, really bad. For those of you that don't really watch football, I know it sounds not too bad, like you're completing 6 out of 10 passes still, but no, that's bad. It's very, very bad. He's got to get better. And I think that he will though. So I know I just sounded like I was going the other way, but I really like Lamar Jackson. They haven't built around him at all, man, and it's crappy to see. Just giving him nothing for years since 2019. He's had no one to throw to. Who's the best receiver other than Mark Andrews on the Baltimore Ravens? Who is it? It was Hollywood Brown before, a little 5'8" guy, whatever he is. Hollywood Brown is good. He's really good, but he's 5'8". You got to give this guy someone to throw the ball to. So that's where we're going with this. I think that the Baltimore Ravens are also going to be a top 5 offense this year. I know it's not where it sounded like I was going talking about Lamar, right? But I hope I got you guys back in and listening to me again. I think they're going to be top 5 this year because I think Lamar is going to get better. I really do like Lamar. I like his mindset. I think he's a competitor. I think he likes to prove people wrong, and I think he works hard. You give me that, you can do a lot. You can do a lot with that. I don't care that he's not the best thrower of the football. Lamar Jackson is not ever going to be the best passer in the league. It's just not what he does. He's got to run more though. You got to get him back to what he was doing in 2019. I do not care that you want to protect him. You cannot play scared anymore. There's no more playing scared. It sucks to say, but if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. I hope he doesn't get hurt so far as like an ACL, LCL tear, or anything crazy. But if he rolls an ankle, if he's out for a few games, 3 to 4 games, 5, 6 games, like hopefully nothing more than that. But you gotta let him loose, man. Take off the chains on him. Like, let him go. Let him do what he's best at, man. He's the most athletic guy I've ever seen, ever play any sport. I mean, my God, his 2019 season, his highlight reel is like a video game, man. It's just unreal. And he's got some weapons now. So they went and got Odell Beckham. They drafted Zay Flowers from FSU. Florida State fans, you got a good one. Had a good one there. He still has Mark Andrews. J.K. Dobbins is coming back. And they got, Rashard Bateman from, blanking, I'll look it up. I think he's pretty decent too. I don't think he's great, but he's got some weapons now. So going into these weapons and why I think they're going to be top 5, J.K. Dobbins is now going to be 2 years fully returned from his ACL injury that he suffered a couple years ago. You could just look at him watching his highlights last year. So I was actually watching his highlights on YouTube the other day. And you could see from week 1 to week 8, like, that's not the same guy. I mean, he was so much more explosive. His cuts. The dude is good. I mean, the dude played for the Ohio State. I keep saying the because I guess that's a thing for Ohio State fans, so I don't want to offend anybody. The Ohio State. J.K. Dobbins broke all of Zeke's records, which, by the way, this is Zeke right here, guys. I hope you can see it on the camera. If you guys are watching on the YouTube, on YouTube, this is Zeke right here. This is Black Panther, but Zeke was great at the Ohio State. J.K. Dobbins shattered his records, shattered them. Crazy. My buddy Ty, best friend Ty, was the best man at his wedding, is a Baltimore Ravens fan as well. Hopefully you're listening as well, my friend. I remember when J.K. Dobbins was coming out of college and we were going into our fantasy draft and you were trying to tell me the dude's going to be better than Zeke. I said you were crazy. And then I freaking drafted him and he got freaking hurt. Literally minutes after our draft ended, I was pissed. I was so livid, bro. Our draft just ended and then the news comes out. J.K. Dobbins just tore his ACL. And I was like, yep, I hate everything. But I think he's good. I agreed with Ty that he's good. Not better than Zeke, good, but the dude is really, really good. So CBS Sports says he has a lot of high upside. Bleacher Report said this is their breakout running back of the year. Like, this kid is good. This kid can play. He's back now. 2 years return. The only thing I didn't see come back, and I'm no scout by any means last year, just watching his highlights, and I didn't watch every Ravens game either, but his speed doesn't look like that came back. And I hope that does. Because the dude was fast before, but watching him, he still was cutting really well, but people were chasing him down from behind with ease. So I hope the speed comes back, but even if it doesn't, he's still going to be a very good runner of the football. J.K. Dobbins is going to have a good season. Odell Beckham is probably the biggest wild card in sports. I think it's all but a guarantee that he is unfortunately going to get hurt because he's unfortunately gotten hurt every year. And again, I hope it's nothing serious. I never wish injury on anybody. If anyone does that watching sports, like, there's a special place down below for you, man, or girl. You do not ever wish for another man to be injured doing something that provides for himself and his family. But Odell Beckham has played 2 full seasons in his entire career. 2016 with the Giants and 2019 with the Browns. Otherwise, I mean, recently, guys, it's not even close. Last time he played, 2021 with the Rams, 8 games. The year before that with the Browns, 6 games. The year before that with the Browns, 7 games. And his first year with the Browns, he played full 16. The dude is unfortunately just hurt every year. I don't know why. I didn't really watch him much at college at LSU. Now I know about every LSU player. Freaking, one of my boys, Brandon, a huge LSU fan. Unfortunately, he loves to rub it in when LSU beat UCF. LSU is the best at this, that, and the other. LSU is the best college football team to ever play back when they had Burrow. Yada, yada, yada. So now I hear about every LSU guy. But this was before I knew Brandon. When Odell Beckham came out of LSU back in 2014, when he went to the Giants and was drafted there. I mean, the dude is a stud. Came out of nowhere, in my opinion, halfway through. That dude was a fantasy football. You had him on your team, you were a winner. His last half of that season was unreal. Catch he had against the Cowboys, I'll never forget that. One hand, I mean, that was the greatest catch I've ever seen. Unreal. And then that guy's career just took off. But I think he can be good, man. I don't care if he only plays 12 games. I hope it's more than 8. But if he can get 12 games from Odell Beckham, that's going to be huge for Lamar. This kid, Zay Flowers, I like him a lot, actually. I think he's going to be really good. I hope he gets a lot of looks. I hope he, understands the playbook. The game slows down for him quickly because I think that guy can be very good very quickly. And Lamar needs another guy. He needs someone else to rely on other than Odell and other than Bateman. Because I don't think Bateman is that guy. I think he's good, but I think Zay Flowers could be that guy. I mean, this dude cuts. His cuts when he goes to juke someone. I mean, it's like a video game. I mean, he was making kids just look absolutely silly in college. And his first step off the line, so, when you're on the line, they call hike. His first step, wherever he's going, after he makes his little, stutter move, it's explosive. I mean, my God, it's his first step quick. He runs a 4.42. He's good. He's really good. The dude reminds me, if you combine Amari Cooper and Brandon Cooks into one guy, that's Zay Flowers. I think he's going to be really, really good. His routes look nice. His cuts are disgusting. I mean, he's just making people look silly out there. It's like he's running and the other people are on skates. I mean, just crazy this guy cuts. I'm excited to watch him play this year. I'm excited to see him in camp. I'm excited to see what he does. But we'll see what happens. And then Mark Andrews, the final guy on this Ravens offense. And, one of the main reasons I think that they can be top 5 is because of this guy. I think he's the best tight end behind Travis Kelce. I think this guy's been disrespected for years. I'm sorry, George Kittle. I'm sorry, whoever else is consistently put above Mark Andrews. He's the second best. And I think if he had Patrick Mahomes, he might be the best. I mean, if he had Patrick Mahomes throwing him the football, I think at least the debate between who's the best tight end is much closer. If he had someone like Mahomes throwing him the ball, I'm telling you, this kid is really, really good. NFL Top 100 player is it is my favorite show that the NFL puts on. It's about the top 100 players of the league voted on by the players, which I love. The players play the game, man. No, they're not scouts, but the players play the game. They know who's good, they know who's bad. What do you think they talk about all day, man? This is what they do. This is their job. A lot of people forget that. This is their job, to play football. They love the game, most of them. That's all they do. Watch highlights, look at each other's plays. They know who's good. This dude was voted 32nd overall in the top 100 players of 2022. The new top 100 doesn't start until August 7th. I would put money that Mark Andrews is either above 32 on this one or the second highest tight end behind Kelce. I'll put money on one or the other. If I'm wrong, I'll come on the show and that'll be a part of Rob is Wrong. And maybe we'll do something else. Shoot me a text, DM, what you guys, want me to do if I lose that bet. I'll say, something stupid like the Jets are better than the Cowboys, Ravens are better than the Cowboys. We'll say something stupid like that. And then, going back to it, August 7th, I think he's going to be higher. The players call him Money Andrews. Come on, his nickname is Money. I didn't even know that until I was watching this highlight the other day. They call him Money Andrews. Love that. Dude is money. I mean, he's just great, man. He's always open. He's a great blocker, too. People forget that's from a tight end. They would be better if they blocked, right? The tight end on your football team is dynamically better for your team if they can block well. He blocks great. I mean, he just moves people out of the way. I think maybe that's one of the reasons George Kittle is consistently above him, because I think George Kittle is the best blocking tight end in football. I mean, that dude is a freaking animal. He's laughing as he's pushing people around, man. You ever watch highlights of him on the NFL Top 100? He's literally giggling like a schoolgirl when he pushes people around. He loves it. Dude's a freak. But I think Andrews is a very, very good blocker. I think he's a mini Gronk out there. I think he's a more athletic, smaller Gronkowski. Dude is really good. So I think the Ravens are going to be top 5 offense this year. I think the Jets are going to be a top 5 offense this year. So yeah, we're running out of teams. I know that eventually a couple people aren't going to be in it. If Ravens and Jets are in there, you got to have Mahomes up there, probably Buffalo, And then probably my Dallas Cowboys. That's your top 5 offensive of this year. In any order. You decide what order you want to put them in. And then going into my last piece here. This NFL running back situation is crazy. I really do feel like the NFL running backs are being disrespected. And this is a touchy topic. So I really want to think before I talk, which you normally don't. I get it. They make millions and millions of dollars. To me, that's not the point. The point is they know their worth to the football team. And they know their worth and they want their worth. Why is that a big deal? Why is it a big deal that these NFL running backs want more money? Why are they being greedy because they want more money? It's not being greedy at all. Do you guys realize how much money the owners make? Oh my God, I mean, it's not even close. It's disgustingly unclose. The Dallas Cowboys are valued at $8 billion. $8 billion. The Patriots were like $6 billion. I mean, the worst franchise is still well over billions. I mean, like, these owners are making so much money. I don't want to hear it. It makes me mad, honestly. Give the NFL running back more freaking money. I heard a good one about taking away the franchise tag for NFL running backs. I don't know if you can do that and not do it for every other position, but it's just unfair what's happening, man. These running backs are being drafted. You sign them for 4 years, you tag them for 2 years, that's 6 years. And then unfortunately, yeah, you guys run them into the freaking ground. So yeah, their bodies are wearing. No one gets hit like a running back, man. These guys have the ball 20 to 25 times a game running, and then you pass them the ball now too. So that's another 5 to 6. So sometimes they have the ball 30 times a game. They're getting hit 30 times a game. What other position gets hit 30 times a game, man? Oh wait. I won't hold my breath because I'll probably die. The answer is no other position. No one gets hit 30 times a game. Your body cannot handle it. I don't think you guys realize how crazy it is that these guys get hit like that multiple times a game. I don't realize it. I never played football, so I won't sit up here and pretend like I really know what I'm talking about when it comes to playing football and what your body feels like the next morning when you wake up. But I can only imagine. Actually, I can't imagine. They must be hurting so bad. And this is garbage. This is BS. What's going on with these running backs? Give them their money. So Micah Parsons, what he basically said was, and I think the league is already heading that way, is if we had positionless players on offense and defense. And we're already going that way. It's happening before our eyes the last few years. Micah Parsons, for example, he was drafted as a linebacker. He plays defensive end. Now he's a full-time DM. They move him all over the line, so he plays multiple spots on the line. He plays the linebacker position still, so he plays multiple linebacking positions. They had him at corner his rookie year. He played corner twice. They had him at safety a few times. So he played every position. So it's time for Micah Parsons to get paid. What is he? Because every position is paid differently. Every position has a different franchise tag because the franchise tag is an average of what that position gets paid. The top guys. What's the average salary the top guys make in that position? So if you went to go franchise tag Micah Parsons, what is he? Is he a DN? Is he a linebacker? If they were positionless players, it wouldn't matter. Micah's not the only guy to do it either. You got someone like Deebo Samuel on offense. He was upset getting paid the other year because they run him like a running back. He wants to get paid because he knows if he keeps running like a running back, he's not going to be playing the game very long. Because you can't get hit that many freaking times, man. You just can't. Your body can't handle it. You got someone like McCaffrey. Put him out wide receiver a lot. You had someone back in the day like Le'Veon Bell, wide receiver a lot. He's literally in the slot, and the dude runs great routes. So you're going to pay him like a running back or a wide receiver? The dude catches 100 catches a year, 80 plus. That's basically a receiver, no? How do you pay him? Travis Kelce. Dude does everything as well. The dude gets, when you go to pay Travis Kelce, you're going to pay him like a wide receiver or a tight end? I mean, he's probably going to retire soon, but Mark Andrews, what are you going to pay him like? If these dudes are putting up more catches than wide receivers, why would you pay them like a tight end and not a receiver? Someone like Taysom Hill. Dude literally plays everything. I mean, this guy's crazy. You guys haven't seen Taysom Hill from the Saints? My God. I think he can play every position in the NFL. This dude is athletic, freak as well. But I like what Micah said as far as the positionless players, because that the NFL can do. That you don't have to take away a franchise tag. Um, I think that's a really good idea, and I think it could happen. Other than the offensive lineman and maybe the defensive lineman, because defensive linemen, offensive linemen, they really can't play other positions because those are usually bigger guys, right? And you're gonna have a D lineman, most of them, 300-pound guy going out there and playing linebacker or safety or corner. Like, it's just not possible. But the skill, quote unquote, skill position guys, what if they were just all positionless players and we just paid them for their worth? And that's it. I think it's a great idea. I think I really like how Micah thinks. Micah Parsons is different. I am a fan of the Cowboys, so I'm a huge Micah Parsons fan, obviously. I'm just a fan of the game just as much as I'm a fan of the Cowboys. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of the NFL. I probably know more players on other teams, probably than a fan of that team, honestly. Like, I just love watching players. I love getting to know how they play, what they do, what they're known for, what they're not known for. I really, really like it. I'm excited to get into the year to talk about more of these guys and have something more to talk about once we have these players on the field every week. I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, this running back thing has got to get fixed, man. It's got to get situated somehow, some way. I don't want to hear that they're being greedy and that they should just shut up and take their money and they should invest it and they should do this or that. Because one, you're right. Yeah, they should just take the money and invest it and do whatever. But it's not the point. You know your worth. You're going to work, right? So whatever job you're at, if you know your worth and someone else is getting paid quadruple the time that you are, would you be unhappy at your job? Of course you would. Kidding me? Someone's doing the same thing you are, just a little bit different. So you're in marketing and they're in IT. But the IT guy is being paid quadruple more than you because the IT guy is more important to that company in the company's eyes than you are. What? Why? Because they fix the computer equipment, you're marketing, you bring in business. It's all about your worth. You're bringing in a ton of business to that company and they're making a ton of money off you, which is unfortunately really what happens in marketing and sales. You bring in much more money than you get paid and people are just okay with it. It's the same thing. You gotta know your worth. These guys know their worth. They know their worth to the football team. I don't want to hear about the running backs usually aren't on these good teams either that win the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl winning team hasn't had one of these top running backs in years. There's a reason, because money. It's all about money, how they get paid. How everybody gets paid. Salary cap has a lot to do with it. And over the years, the owners of the league and the GMs have put way less of a value on running backs. A lot of them don't even go in the first round anymore. And it's unfair in my eyes of what's going on with these running backs. And I hope it gets fixed. And I know people point to Zeke and Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, and I'm blanking on another name of like recent guys who got paid and then just went to sleep and just didn't live up to that contract. Todd Gurley, I think, was a much bigger example than Zeke. Yeah, sure, like Zeke did not nearly produce the same, but Zeke was still very good. I'm actually shocked he's still a free agent. I pray every day that the Cowboys re-sign him. But I get it. But there's also running backs who recently got paid that have been good. Christian McCaffrey comes to mind for me. These guys are great, man. They change the dynamic of the game. I really hope it gets fixed. I hope they do something. I don't know if it's positionless players. I don't know if you change the salary cap. I don't know if you change the franchise tag. I don't get paid to think about it. So I thought about it enough for this podcast, and that's probably all I'll think on it. And I have my opinion, and I know everyone else has their opinion on it as well. And just remember, when we're talking about these kind of things, guys, it's just your opinion at the end of the day. You don't need to raise your voice and start, getting loud when you're talking to somebody else about it. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but just remember, not everybody cares to hear your opinion. Once you realize that, I think you'll go a lot further with your argument. I think you'll be a lot more at peace with it. But my opinion is that it needs to change, and I hope it does. Going into my closing, guys, I really do want to thank you all for taking the time to be here with me again, taking the time out of your day. I hope that you guys enjoyed this section of my podcast. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed my topics. Going into next week again, I'm going to be hitting much more on the NFL running backs. I think it's something that needs to be discussed. I think it's a fun thing to talk about. It's a very touchy subject again because it has to do with money and they make a lot of money and blah, 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 blah. I get it. They make a lot of money. Well, there's a reason to make a lot of money. We'll get into it on my next one. And I'm thinking about getting what are you even saying? A patent, trademark on some words. I don't know, I need a lawyer. Spence, if you're watching, I need you, brother. Going by closing, I'm gonna start doing Rob's unfiltered, what I call debatable facts. Debatable facts. Like, I think it's a debatable fact that the Cowboys are winning the division this season. I think it's a debatable fact that the Jets and Ravens are both going to be top 5 offense this year. I don't know what a debatable fact means, but I like it. I like how it sounds. My buddy Maj, was laughing about it. Maj, I did tell you I was going to shout you out. You suck, man. You suck, Maj, but I love you, brother. That's your shout out on my podcast, man. You suck, but I love you. Debatable fact, Maj. Anyways, guys, thank you again for taking the time. I'll see you all on my next show. I'm actually going to be recording a few of these and then posting them, scheduled to go out, because I'm going on a cruise next week. Man, I can't wait. Me and Ray are going on a cruise to Europe. We get to go to France, Spain, and Italy. It's going to be life-changing. I can't wait. But I do want to continue what I'm doing here with this podcast. I'm going to record a couple more, schedule them to go out. So literally when they go out, like next week, I'm going to be somewhere in Italy when it goes out. It's going to be awesome. Thank you guys again. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.